Justice following an Idaho Falls shooting will have to wait a little longer. The preliminary hearing for Lance Bronco has been delayed nearly a month. He is the man charged with first-degree murder following the killing of Eric Leask and the shooting of Orr Mead Smith. Local News 8's Sam Gelfand has been leading our coverage of the killing. He breaks down the killing, its background, and where the case will go from here.
Bonneville County Prosecuting Attorney Randy Neal was expected to call witnesses in court today. Now that won't happen until April 23rd. Neal told me the defense requested more time to prepare, and delays like this in a case like this are pretty typical.
Good afternoon. We will go on the record in State of Idaho versus Lance Jonathan Bronco. Are you Lance Jonathan Bronco?
Yes, ma'am.
Idaho Falls Police Chief Bryce Johnson says when it comes to violent crime,
there isn't a person that we arrest that hasn't been arrested before.
Bronco previously spent time in federal prison for stabbing and carjacking a man. And according to the probable cause affidavit, he allegedly broke into this house with a sledgehammer on March 9th. Wearing a ski mask and wielding a gun, he supposedly shouted, "Give me everything."
It was a case of mistaken identity. The suspect, we believe, was targeting a specific house, believing that they could steal something from that specific house. They just got the wrong house.
Bronco's aunt, Brandy Johnson, relayed his version of events.
They entered somebody's house. They didn't know, didn't realize where they were, but they didn't stop either, and they just kind of, because her husband shot one shot next to them, they popped off. They're young cats, dude.
Yeah.
They were way beyond wasted. They were pretty messed up.
Somebody else's
Yeah,
house.
they were pretty messed up, and the people told them to stop, and they didn't. Shots got fired both ways.
A person was shot, and then another person was shot, and that resulted in death.
Bronco was shot in the hand. He allegedly fled 1 mile away to the Teton Mesa apartments.
They were able to identify the suspect within just a few hours, were able to locate him. There was that SWAT standoff with him.
And our officers engaged with Mr. Bronco there.
What does engaged with him mean?
We were able to contact him by phone and indicated that he needed to come out and meet with officers, and he ultimately refused to do so.
So the SWAT team released tear gas into the apartment.
And he ultimately surrendered and came out and was taken into custody by police officers.
County Prosecutor Randy Neal has brought 5 felony charges, including first-degree murder.
If you intend to commit certain crimes and it results in death, then that alone, without premeditation, will qualify it for a first-degree murder.
But he doesn't yet know if he'll pursue the death penalty.
It's in the back of our minds, but we're not looking at that decision yet.
I imagine it's one that weighs heavily on you.
Well, what weighs heavier on me is that, we have victims here that there should be justice for.
The affidavit says the strongest evidence came once Bronco was in jail. His mom told him his sister worked with Leask, and he later said on a supervised call, and I quote, "Guess who I killed? A family friend of mine. It just gets weirder and weirder." Sam Gelfand, Local News 8.